What's up, everybody? I am back with some more music today, and this is new. This is, it's a couple weeks old. It's a new album from COUNTERPARTS, a band that I really enjoy. I've been fortunate enough to see live at a really interesting show in Los Angeles. Well, it was in the Glass House. So it was in Petaluma. No, it's not right. Not Pasadena. Some place that starts with a P in California. Either I'll remember it or somebody who knows what I'm talking about will comment it below. Anyway, I saw them with Being as an Ocean and Have Mercy, which is a really interesting show. Very different styles of band, but it was great. They put on a great show. It was the No Exit tour. Enough of that. We'll get into this new stuff soon. But before I do, two things. I'm not a professional. Right? I'm not an expert. I'm not a vocal coach or guitar tech. I don't do a lot of, I have my guitar here in the background, but I don't play it that often. I'm not that good. All right. I'm just a guy who knows some about music, and I'm just doing my best out here. If you want an expert opinion, go watch Fantano. That's what I would say. Or Justin Hawkins Rides Again. Someday he'll mention me. I have confidence. Huge fan, both of his work with The Darkness and his channel. I think he's great. I think he's a good analyst of the music. I think he's very serious and thoughtful when he's reacting to things. And he definitely knows the industry. The other part is don't be a dick. I try really hard to be respectful and thoughtful in my reviews. And look, you may not like me. You may not like this song. This song will be pretty heavy. If you don't like heavy stuff, you're probably not going to love it. And you may not like my opinion. These things they're all fine with me. We have different preferences. But I would request that you be a little bit thoughtful in your responses for two reasons. One, you might hurt my feelings, and I don't like that. And two, there are occasions where the artists have watched my videos, and I just, it's hard work to be a musician. They're putting in a lot of effort. Even if I don't like something, I try to appreciate the work that went into it because it's hard to put yourself out there like that. So, just don't be a dick. All right, general life advice. With that out of the way, let's get into it. This is Bound to the Burn by COUNTERPARTS. I do not believe this is a video. I think it's just cover art. We'll see. Yeah. I like that. Might have to check this out. Lights Out Little Hustler. That sounds interesting. Yeah. So this sounds like Counterparts. First thing I wanted to note, really, maybe a minute in, maybe a little bit more than a minute in, they do one of my favorite things in metal, or metalcore, post-hardcore, whatever you want to call them, where you get into that swing, right? You've got the guitar riffs aren't perfectly on beat. They are slightly syncopated. I think that's what I'm getting here. And so you get this like almost like you're rocking into the note. I don't know how to describe it better than that, really. But it's different than a straight up like chugging guitar riff. It kind of gives you a little bit of motion to it. I know that this is not like, listen, go watch a professional. They don't know how to describe this shit. But there's a little bit more feeling. There's a little more groove to the guitar work and the drums. I really like it when bands do that. If you listen to the part that I mentioned, you will be able to understand what I mean, a little bit at least. Great breakdown or beat down, whichever you prefer. I always love a good one of those. I love live music, and I love seeing bands like this live because I love getting in the pit. And I don't try to hurt anybody. I'm not that kind of guy in the pit. I am a big dude. I spend a lot of my time like helping pick people up. But I do love, man, there's just something about the energy when you're in a big crowd or even a small crowd, because small crowds at small venues, or I guess big crowds at small venues, right? Not a large crowd numerically, but a large crowd for the space. If you've ever been to, this is a LA reference, but for those of you who have spent any time in Los Angeles, if you've ever been to a show at the Constellation Room in Santa Ana, there's two rooms that are in the same venue area. And you've got the big stage with the big, the seating area and the 2 floors. And then you've got the Constellation Room, which is a little room. And I've seen some really good shows in that little room. And because it's so close, it feels more intimate, but it also, the energy is crazy in there. And so seeing a band like this in a room like that, where the breakdown's coming, right? I've been to EDM shows. I like EDM a lot. And it's the same thing as the drop, right? People talk shit about EDM, but a breakdown and a drop are the same fucking thing. Different kinds of music, different sonically, right? But it's the same concept. You build up anticipation, right? Either you slow it way down, or with EDM, you typically go from like quarter notes to eighths to sixteenths to 30 seconds to 64ths, right? You slowly build it, and then you drop it all out for a second, and then everything comes crashing back in. Or the part that you want, right? I mean, people talk a lot of shit about Martin Garrix, or they used to. I don't know if anybody cares about him anymore. I haven't listened to him since 2013. But Animals, which is a very popular song, had one of the best breakdown, like drops, that I can think of. And it is this super effective build, and then almost everything drops out. And this is what I like about trap. Everything drops out, and you just have this, basically you have this bass and this high snare and a little bit of synth. But because it's so well mastered, right, it like fills the entire room, and it just hits super hard. It's the same deal with setting up for a breakdown in metal, right? You usually with a breakdown, you're slowing it down, right? So you're going through the chorus again. Maybe you're going through a bridge portion, right? So you're mixing up the notes a little bit. You're mixing up the guitar work, and then you bring in the doo-doo-doo, and everybody knows what's coming, right? The whole crowd can feel it. And then a lot of times, you'll get the ting, ting, right, on the cymbals. Look at the drummer who initiates it. And when you hear that first, like, little China, little bell hit, right, everybody knows what's coming. And that anticipation and that energy, when it hits, it's unlike most things I've experienced. There are only very few things that give you that kind of rush. And Counterparts is good at that. They're great live. I highly, highly recommend seeing them if you get the opportunity. They're also really solid dudes. So, you get the opportunity to see a great band making good music, talking about shit that matters, and also the people behind it care about shit that matters. That's important to me. I don't need all of the artists I listen to be, on the same wavelength as me. But it is nice. It is nice when you are able to be like, yeah, I can support what those guys are about. Not just the music that they make, but the sort of things that they want to do, the sort of things that matter to them. I can be on board with that. I really enjoy being able to do that in my own head. We're like, yeah, these guys, we got, simpatico. That'll do it for this one. We had a long discussion of bass drops. Not entirely related to the song, but I just want people to understand. There's a lot less gatekeeping now. Gatekeeping is a really trendy word. There's a lot less. If you're a metalhead, you can only listen to metal, right? You can't spell crap without rap. That was a thing that used to get said a lot when I was a kid. There's a lot less of that because so many artists are crossing over and doing creative new stuff. They're blending genres. They're like Knocked Loose just went on stage with fucking Ski Mask the Slump God. That's a strange collaboration, except that it's not anymore. Because people are listening to each other's shit, and it's okay. And so there are still posers, right? There are still pretentious assholes who think that only their kind of music is the good kind of music, and every other music is derivative, or it's not very creative. And I don't really like that. I think that it's important to understand that there are things that other artists do that's good, even if it's not the kind of music that you prefer. I don't really like pop music very much. I don't listen to a lot of it. I've never been into it. But there is a reason that 800 billion people like Taylor Swift. There is, okay? It's not because her music's shitty, because I don't really care for it. It's not my style of music. But a lot of people really identify with it. And so you have to look beyond, well, I just don't like it. You have to think about, why do people like it? What is it that appeals to people? If you want to be a successful musician, knowing why people like music, it does help. Knowing why Taylor Swift is able to write incredibly catchy pop hooks, that helps, because she's able to write incredibly catchy pop hooks, and that is a gift and a talent. That is not just something anybody can do. Going out on a defending Taylor Swift limb here for some reason. Yeah, she doesn't. I don't think she needs my defense. Anyway, just wanted to say, the things that we like about music are the same things that other people like about music, in most cases. It's just that the music might be different. Have a good day, everybody. Stay safe out there. Like and subscribe if you're so inclined. Drink lots of water, and don't talk to cops.